so much man-to-man defense, which I get it. He's very, very confident in their skill at their positions, but you have to give these cornerbacks some help. Like you have to scheme things just a little differently. Like I'm not a fan of putting the linebackers in zone to the point where the wide receiver is smart enough to sit in the middle and they don't have the recovery speed to actually close out. So it's a lot of these chunk plays. Like the linebacker, the way he uses them, I get it. When it works, it works. But every team should not see the same scheme from our defense. And I kind of feel like they are. And again, I'm happy with our defense. I've said this leading up to this game. They're criminally underrated, holding every team 20 points and under. And even the game we lost against the Bucks, our defense gave our offense every position up until the last possession to score and put that game away. We should be 4-0. Now, Ben Johnson, 55 times Jared Goff, I get it. But the hot take I had was after this season, I get it. We've had success as a team. Do you think the Lions should look for a new defensive coordinator?
No, no, I do question because he's good, not great, but how many are great? You
True.
know, like I said, I don't think no team's gonna have every perfect remedy. You're gonna have some flaw. I'm okay with our flaw being we have a good coordinator and a decent defense.
But
If that's
Mike,
if that's all our flaw is, you know what I'm saying? It's okay when the offense is what the offense is. When it's time to pay our running backs and time to pay another receiver, I should not see no problem. Because I
got
know
you.
we're not about to give it to cornerbacks. I know we're not about to give it to linebackers. You know? Hey, as long as the offense can keep humming, we don't have a $30 million cornerback. We don't have a
Yo.
$25 million linebacker. We got some solid guys, you know, solid guys that know how to make big plays, but they've been, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get some chunk plays. But when you get in that red zone, it might get iffy on you, because you're working with less field. And those guys out there, we want your head off, you know. I tell you that. Like, we're not trying to get fouls and techs and flags thrown, but we do want your head off. I just want the teams to know that. You know what
Here's
I'm
my
saying?
question. Here's my question before this conversation gets out of hand. Do you think our defense is playing up to its potential? Because let me remind you again, hold on. Aiden Hutchinson, DJ Reader, Lee McNeil, one of the top defensive lines in the game. That's why people can't run on us. I get that. Anzalone, Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes, Brian Branch, Carlton Davis, Kirby Joseph. I'm seeing when I see other coordinators do more with less, I look at our coordinator and I say, hey, are you doing the best you absolutely can? Because I'm looking at some of these schemes that the other teams are using. I'm using the Vikings because they're in the same division as us. I'm looking at some of the schemes guys are using. Harrison Smith, he's old. He ain't young. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Gilmore Van Ginkel, like, come on. Versus what I'm seeing that the Lions have, which is a lot of young, hungry players, and even Carlton Davis. I mean, look, man, you're playing man basically the whole game, and you almost had two picks on DK
That's
Metcalf.
my
That's
that's my
good.
question. That's my question. Are we doing man too much?
Again, and that's why I
We're
said I'm
we're
looking at Aaron Glenn.
leaving the weakest link on defense on an island, you know. But what you have to ask yourself, what does he see in them? Because I don't think he's calling a defense, he's calling the players,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He Hey, you know what? We gotta run this because this is how Aiden gets off. We all love when Aiden was getting 5 sacks. This is how Aiden gets off, right? So we run this. This is how, I'm saying, Branch, and because we have Branch and Kirby, I run man. They come up. You know what I'm saying? Those safeties, we got safeties that get the job done, you know? But like I said, I just wonder, is it too much, man? I'm just saying, if you're walking out every time and we don't have Gilmore or Ramsey,
Gardner.
Xavier Howard. We don't have those guys, and
Yeah.
we only really be in man, in press man. Like
Yeah.
not like backed up. Like Terry Arnold is like face to face with DK. I'm gonna just tell you right now, if I was playing a game, bet, go route, hey, Y, X, go. Like, like buddy. The side, I'm just tapping X to bomb it up there, like you're not getting it over him, you know.
Right.
But
Right.
however,
Hey, man, and to your
kept
point,
them to the lowest we've
true.
kept them to the lowest we kept them. We got interceptions. Like, yeah, I kind of go back and forth with the Aaron Glenn thing, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because teams were trying and he was doing interviews. You have to understand, like, they see enough to know, like, I mean, they're really saying this
Yes.
guy is head coach worthy
Yes.
because
Yes.
there's not too many greats, but he is definitely good, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I can see Aaron, I can see Aaron Glenn, like if he had his hands on like Pittsburgh's defense or something, he
Yeah.
might get a historic, run out of something like that.
No, no
And you
lie.
gotta remember too, our guys are young. Our guys are young. So I don't know if he's just putting them in positions now that he think they may be in the playoffs. Like, hey, I could run this zone. It might be better, but I need Terry and Arnold to get used to being in this press. I need, what I'm saying, Carlton Davis to, get used to being in this press
Put him in the
because this is
fire.
what because you're playing who you play, but you're also thinking about, hey, well, 9 times out of 10, we're gonna have to beat the 49ers, the Bucks, the Eagles, Dallas,
Maybe the
you know what I'm
Vikings,
saying, in the playoffs, maybe the Vikings and
Packers,
possibly the Rams,
and the Rams,
Packers, in the
and maybe the
playoffs.
Seahawks.
So, you know what I'm saying? So when you know the teams you got to play, you're also going to run some stuff that it might not be your strength, but you need to make it one by the time we get to the end of the year,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a little back and forth with it, but I think he's doing a good job. Not a great job, but a good job. I don't think there's like, who we going to get to do it? Bill Belichick? Like, you know what I'm saying? Show me a
Hey,
defense.
it's
Like,
out there.
hey, I wish. I wish. I don't think he's coming for that coordination job.
Nah,
But
true. Hey, but he
you
could.
know,
How
you know
much?
what I'm saying? I would have took the guy from the Vikings.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I think we got the guy we need, you know,
Yeah.
for now. Because all I know is they fired a cornerback coach a couple of years ago, and Aaron Glenn got good at his job.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. And no,
so
and to your point, that's why, man, I said it's a hot take. It's a hot question. It's not necessarily a hot take. It's a hot question. Should the Lions look to replace the DC? Because to your point, man, it's a lot of man-to-man coverage out there, and you're making. I was just wondering, is our defense playing up to its potential?